Hello, hello. Welcome to Sub-Suburban Splendor. I'm Jason. We're getting ready to take a tour of this crawl space. I gotta tell you, I'm not looking forward to this one. The entrance to the crawl was covered with this, a piece of lattice off the back deck here. And I think anybody looking can tell this is not going to keep out any kind of animal. A cat could squeeze through one of these little lattice holes if it wanted to, much less a mouse or a rat. And just taking a quick look inside, you can see the insulation is falling apart and falling down in places. And this is just right here at the entrance. Honestly, I don't think it's going to get much worse than this when it comes to crawl spaces. Now, let's see what else we've got down here. The first thing we've got is a piece of screen. I would assume that was also covering the entrance to the crawl at one point before it fell down. And you can see the trunk line for the HVAC system is cutting the crawl in half. I don't think I'm going to be able to squeeze under that, so I'm going to have to crawl the whole thing twice to see everything I need to see. There's no moisture barrier down here, but honestly, I don't think they need it. This ground is hard as a rock. Kind of wish I had elbow pads at this point. This is going to hurt a little bit. And just found some nice nails lying on the ground for me to step on. Nice stuff there. But I guess as normal, we should start with a moisture reading based on how hard the ground is and the amount of dust I'm kicking up. Just with the little bit of moving I'm doing, I'm guessing there's not a whole lot of moisture down here, but we could be surprised. %, totally normal. I actually expected it to be a little bit lower than that. But 12 is acceptable. It's not acceptable, it's perfectly normal. I'm gonna go ahead and sign my work here. Jason was here, and his handwriting was bad. Where'd my cap go? There it is. Don't want to end this unpleasant crawl experience with marker all over my clothes. Alright. Well, this is going to be even more fun. This area, this little narrow kind of hallway here, is behind the garage. Most new houses have a little area like this behind the garage, usually a laundry room or something above it. Maybe there's a fancy architecture term for this space. I don't know. I call it something I really don't want to post online. Nice euphemism for bovine excrement is what I label this area. Because every time you look down here, you yell out, this is that word. I got this pipe right here running straight down. A duct about an inch from my shoulder. So I just gotta kind of shine my flashlight here and try to see to the end. I can't get down there really to inspect. I would get stuck, and this would turn from an educational entertainment podcast to something more akin to horror. What was the name of that movie with the guy who had to cut his leg off because he was stuck under a boulder? It'd be something like that. What was it? 72 Hours, something like that, based on a true story. Nothing I wanted to see. I prefer my horror stories to be a little more fantastical. This trunk line looks like it might be vintage, installed when the house was built. All this insulation falling down. You know how you get a haircut and the hairdresser or barber, whatever you got, throws the hair cutting sheet around you, tucks in the little scarf around your neck to try to keep the hair trimmings off of you and out of your clothes. And no matter how good a job they do, some of those trimmings always get in and irritate you all the way home until you can jump in the shower and rinse them off. This stuff is the same way. Does not matter how well you're covered up down here. If that insulation is on the floor, it's getting into your clothes. Unlike hair, the insulation is fairly stiff, so it's getting into your skin too. It's never fun. Well, looks like there was an attempt at a moisture barrier at some point. And it's not always bone dry down here. We got the remains of old mushrooms dried up. And that would help explain some of the insulation as well. If you don't keep your crawl space dry, that moisture gets into the insulation, starts it decaying, and eventually pulls it down. The moisture will also collect that dust you're seeing me kick up, and any mold or mildew spores that might be down here, and turns that insulation from its nice pink. This part's pretty nice here, still in good shape. You can see that nice pink color. Started turning it black or gray. Basically makes that insulation into a dirty filter that all the air is going through on its way through the crawl and into your house. Oh, I'm gonna need one heck of a shampoo after this. I can't quite see this corner with the shadows. It looks pretty alright. Got the fireplace here. Sometime in the past, a spider caught a centipede. And the spider abandoned the web before it finished eating the centipede. Good thing I already had lunch. That was a joke, by the way. You're not lasting in this job unless you've got a strong stomach. Nothing I see or experience in the course of a normal day is going to affect my appetite at all. Oh wow. Here's a nice yellow-white mushroom, kind of a albino-looking thing here. Now, I know for a fact I was in this crawl space last year, so this has sprung up in the course of 12 months. Just gonna pop that out of the way. Oh, actually, this guy's still fresh. Not dry and falling apart at all. That it is a mushroom, it's just gonna fall apart at your touch, but yeah, that guy was still vital. So that makes me want to get another moisture reading. You can also see some fungus growth here. It's all dusting right off. If you see this stuff kind of smear, that means it's alive and could turn into something that would damage your girders and joists. If it just turns into dust like that, that means it's dead. There's no danger. But that mushroom makes me want to... 15%. We're getting a little wetter. I may have said this before, but it bears repeating. Anything 18 and over is where you're hitting a danger zone for wood rot and fungus growth on the foundational wood of your house. Here in the fall, I would not expect to see wood moisture content over 12%, really. Everything should be nice and dry. It's in the summertime when you start getting the spikes, 15 plus. So I'm actually going to recommend that this customer, oh, you can see all that nice particulate floating in the air. I can see it on the camera. I can't see it with my bare eyes. I am glad I've got a mask on. I don't want to be breathing all that stuff in. Yeah, I'm going to have this homeowner think about getting a summer check done. We need to pop our head down here, get a moisture reading in June or July when things are at their worst. Just so we can get a complete picture of what this home looks like. Oh, they've got this decayed. Just wind in this web like spaghetti. Get it out the way. Huh. I don't think the camera can pick it up, but there's some odd coloration in a little hole in the corner here. Yeah. Alright. Sorry, I'm gonna have to... There we go, you can see that where my probe is kind of punched through there. Might be starting to get a little bit of water damage in this corner. Well, now, it's probably time to introduce everybody to this here. Of course, anybody with eyes in their head can see it's just a long screwdriver. However, this is the exterminator's probe of choice most of the time. If you see something suspicious, you just kind of want to give it a couple taps, make sure your wood is solid. Oh, there's some more of that fungus. Still just dusting off, though. That is its primary purpose. It's also a pry bar from time to time. In an emergency, you can dig a little bit with it. And if you should happen to run across an unfriendly critter, this can be your #1 line of defense. Now, there's no hard and fast rules about what you need for a probe. I've seen guys want to take a hammer or a little cultivator down into the coral, but the heavy-duty screwdriver is one of the more common options just because it is so versatile. Obviously, you've got your stabby end, and you got your smacky end for whatever you might need. And it's not terribly sharp, so if you've got a nice moisture barrier, not this kind of half-assed attempt at one here, you don't want anything too much sharper than that, because you're going to start punching holes in the moisture barrier, kind of defeating your own purpose. We are almost to the last corner. Oh, I found some mouse droppings. Of course we did. There's nothing keeping them out. Oh, and what did I tell you? I was here last year. Got a reading of 18%. And the year before, also 18%. I may get another reading. The camera's not picking it up from the glare. That says 14%. So things have actually gone down this year. But, still, I'm gonna have them give us a call in the sweaty months so we can take another look. 6-7 months from now, I might be coming down here again and showing you all a video of a crawl space that's raining. Stay tuned for that. We are at the other end of the house. From here, it maybe looks like I could squeeze under that HVAC duct. I don't know. I might try. What's this? Oh, just more mushroom caps. Okay. Started to decay. I am shining my flashlight directly on that wood. It's not in shadow, it's just black. And pulling this side here, we can see that there's a water pipe right next to it. That might explain some of that discoloration. Everything seems solid enough. Yep, everything's good. Just discolored. All right, people. Thank you for joining me on this little tour. If you like what you see, please hit that like button. Please tell your friends. I would really like to grow my subscribership and spread the word of the adventures that are under everybody's house. And if you're in the southeastern Virginia area and you have any pest control needs, please give National Exterminating a call. And I will see you next time. Thank you for joining me.